So Will Mock, Chief Growth Officer of LF Education, thank you very much indeed for joining us here at Economy Middle East. Now, can I start by asking, who's shaping the future of education? Is it technologists, schools, or the students themselves?
Yeah, well, it's a very good question, and I think it has to be all of the above. But the key is that actually the student comes first. So in education, we need to think about the student. We need to think about their role, but importantly, what they need, what their requirements are, and how to improve their education and their outcomes. And it's true that across the world, we've had an education system that has been stuck in the past. And the key is that we need to bring the best of technology and the world around us to education. Most other parts of the industry, most other industries and parts of the economy have progressed significantly, but education has been stuck. And what we need to do is bring the best in technology to improve that. And you can see platforms such as Aleph, with our personalization and our ability to understand and meet each student where they are, really bring the future of education to students and really improve outcomes and what we can deliver for the children.
Wonderful. And your role at Aleph, do you see yourself more as an edtech specialist or a business development? Or what is it? How do you define your role?
Yeah, I think, again, it's got to be both. I mean, any growth in the world of education and education technology, you've got to understand the core of what the market needs, what the student needs, what the governments and other stakeholders need. But the important is, it's a business as well. We've got to grow the company. We've got to grow the business. And so I'm bringing the two of those together. How can we improve student outcomes? How can we improve our life chances for the children and students that are going through our systems? But how can we do that in such a way that we can provide this in a sustainable way that can continue to improve?
What will Aleph bring to JES in terms of educational tools, e-learning, and not just here, but across different geographies that you operate in?
We love events like this. We'll bring as many of our team as possible so that they can hear directly from the customers. They can show off the great technology and products and content that we've got. And go from there. So this year we're exhibiting all of our 4 key platforms and some great new innovations and bringing that to the marketplace.
And in a world of digitally oriented learning, what can educators in school bring to students in terms of having the more kind of an interactive and fun environment? How do they provide that sort of environment for the students?
So we see lots of great innovations in that. And I think, again, we're going back to why is this important? And in the world of education, as I said, so much of education has been stuck in the past of rote memorization, of a teacher standing at the front of a classroom and saying, right, today we're going to learn this, and everyone's going to learn in the same way, and everyone's got the same strengths and weaknesses. We know that that's not true, and that leaves, if you're teaching to the average, you leave the people above average and below average of that particular skill or that particular subject behind. They become disenfranchised because they're bored, it's not stretching them enough, or it's too hard and they become disengaged. And so what we bring and what the best of technology brings is that understanding that each student is different and we've got to meet them where they are. And by meeting them where they are, they're more engaged. And you see the use of gamification in certain platforms and in our platform, incentivizing in certain ways to keep that motivation. So some students, some children really respond to that gamification. So gamification works, but we also need long-term incentives to learn. And so sometimes you see if you use too much of gamification, they'll have a short-term spike and a student might be involved, but then subsequently they'll get bored because they need that constant hit of that next reward or next badge. And so we combine that in a way. We have both the gamification, but we have we want to create that agency to want to learn and to get involved in your own learning. So we bring that in. But there are other advances like the metaverse that we're looking into. And that could be it could have a huge change for the world of education.
Very interesting stuff. And are K-12 curricula and e-learning platforms catching up to the modern needs of economies and communication and the tools of the future?
Yes, they need to. And I think, as I say, it's been slow and we have been behind. And I think the education industry is very often found itself behind what's going on in the world around us. So the likes of Google and personalized video platforms have really shown us, and shopping have really shown us how technology can help and support. But education has been behind. But I think we've now got a great opportunity to accelerate and get in front and to show this is what's best for education, this is what's best for learning, and this is how our children are going to learn best. And these are the skills they need for the future, because the skills of the past are actually no longer going to be the skills of the future. So we've got to embrace all of that, bring that together with the best technology. And do that. And you can see from the buzz around this show, from some of the technology on show, in particular here with Aleph, that there's some incredible technology and innovations that are being brought to education that are going to improve children's outcomes, and that's the key.
Will Locke of Aleph Education, Chief Growth Officer, thank you very much indeed for joining us here at Economy Middle East.